Welcome, I'm Wiield, and before I get started here, I just want to get introductions, foundations, hellos out of the way. I'm Wiield, like I said a few seconds ago, and I make MW3 videos every day. I freaking love it. You know, right now I'm in a time in my life where I have a lot of time to do that. So that's what I do, and I love it, honestly, sitting down here every day when I come and sit down to have one of these sessions where I talk to myself. I really consider it like one of the best times in my days, every day. You know, it's really a time to sit back and just chill out, you know. And I really hate my cousin, you know. I just don't like him. He's a douche, you know. We don't hang out too much, you know. It's not like a big deal, but he's really a douche, you know. Let me just give you a story about why he's a douche. Just simplify it as well as I can. Let's call him cousin number one, okay? Cousin number one is a douche. Cousin number two is cool, alright? He's really cool. He's a cool guy. He goes ahead and... Wait, cousin number one has a girlfriend, right? He's like, they break up one day. He's like, we can't do this anymore. We're over, right? And cousin number two is like, I want cousin number one's girlfriend. He goes up. He actually has the, you know, integrity to go up to cousin number one, and he's like, okay, hey man, can I date your girlfriend? You know, is it okay with you? And cousin number one is like, yeah, man, totally, okay, you can date her, right? I'm like, cool. So he said, okay. You know, I actually heard this whole thing going on because cousin number one is a drama bitch and wants to tell my father everything, you know. But it's not that kind of situation. It's more like my father's like a father figure to them, kind of ish, you know. So I'm listening. I was a kid when I heard this story, and I'm hearing the whole thing go down. And cousin number one is like, you know, he's a douche. He's telling my father he's a douche, and my father's like, what do you mean? What do you mean he was a douche? He actually came up to you and asked you if he could date her, you know, if it was okay by your rights and means and things, and he's like, no, he was supposed to know. He was supposed to know that you don't do that to family. And I'm like, what? What are you even talking about, man? He actually asked you, and you were saying okay. And I'm like, why would you say yes? You're not a freaking Catholic schoolgirl, okay? This is not gossipy drama TV show kind of thing, and he does that throughout his whole life. I don't like this guy, okay? I really dislike this cousin of mine, okay? Such a douche. And he reminds me of a friend of mine, you know. They remind me of each other because they're both like brown midgets and fat and things, you know. So my friend is actually a wife beater. It was like you would never know. You're like, whoa. And it makes kind of a little bit of sense because you're like, oh, that's the only fight he can actually win. And it all had to do with him. Alright, he comes into my house one day. He comes barging into my house. We weren't even close friends. I don't even know why he's coming up to me looking for advice and things. He comes up to me looking for advice, and in the heat of the moment, I guess he ran out of his house. He comes right to me. He's like, hey Wiield, I need your help. And I'm like, oh man, what happened? He's like, I hate the bitch. I'm like, whoa, who's the bitch? Who's the bitch? Because, you know, he's never been in this situation, you know. I don't expect him to come inside my house calling his girlfriend, or his wife, I should say, a bitch, you know. That's the first time that he's called her that, you know. They've never even been that angry at each other. And I'm like, hey man, why is she a bitch? Because, you know, if he comes in here like, she's a bitch, then you know things are real. Things got serious, things are intense. And he's like, I need your advice. And I'm like, okay, what happened? What happened? And he's like, well, I hit her. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you hit her? He's like, yeah, I hit her. She actually came up to me and shoved me. And I'm like, okay. So, why did she shove you? And he's like, well, she didn't like that I hit our daughter too hard. And I'm like, whoa. So, okay, so let me get this straight, man. Let me just break it down, jot it down for you. Really quickly, just explain to me what happened. You hit your daughter, okay? your baby daughter is like 1 years old, 1 year old, I should say, and you hit her for whatever the reason, and your wife didn't like it enough to the point that she came up to you and shoved you, right? And you hit her. You hit your daughter and your wife all in like 1 minute. And he's like, yeah, yeah, that happened. I'm like, oh, hey man, you're a douche. You're kind of a true douche right here, bro. Why would you do such a thing? And I honestly didn't know what to think about that, except for maybe get out of my face and get in my life. And I didn't want to do that because this friend right here, or used to be friend, ex-friend, inspired my dream to be the next Rebecca Black, to be the next Rebecca Black / Beyonce, Michael Jackson. That's what, in case you don't know about me and my lifelong dream, made a few videos about this. I want to be a singer, dancer / songwriter, legend, extraordinaire. And that's how, that's how the cookie crumbles. Excuse me. Allergy seasons are getting to me. But can't let it get in the way of my dreams of being the next Rebecca Black. And she went out on stage. Nobody knows this. Not very many people from the internet saw this. She went out and she sung live on TV. And not many people saw it, and she was legit. Nobody knows she was legit. She can sing her heart out. Okay, guys? But leaning on a more serious side before things wrap up here, which they unfortunately must do, I'm glad I get to post and be a part of something with Splash in the name. I've always been a huge fan of water. If you enjoy me, check me out. If not, thanks for hanging out with me for this short time. It's been awesome, and it's been Wiield. See you later. Smiles!